Archie, you and I are just humans too. We're just humans, right? We all get too bullish at the top, too bearish at the bottom. We all get things wrong, all things right. There is no holy grail. There's nobody who is right all the time. And once people just accept that, it's a much easier world to live in. That I don't deal in certainties, I deal in probabilities, and I make that clear in almost everything I ever say. And I think you probably do in your own mind too.
Sure, I don't hold you to that standard whatsoever. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. I'm much more open-minded than that.
But that's what I'm saying. It's a really difficult job as humans, right? Just at a human level, not what you should, could, but it's what we do. We're just humans. We're just trying our best to figure it out like everybody else. And people have to realize that. Yes, we come with more experience. Yes, we also get it spectacularly wrong. Yes, sometimes we can get it spectacularly right. But we are, after all, just humans. And as is everybody else as individuals who follows us for nuggets of information, analysis, or counter-analysis, whatever it may be, that's okay. It's a big global melting pot of people who are trying to figure it all out together. And within that, there's a bunch of Bitcoin bears who've been killed over the last 10 years by being entirely wrong about it. Are they being irresponsible? No, they're just wrong.
Under fire crypto investor and Real Vision CEO Raoul Pal has appealed to investors to be nice to each other, claiming, "This is just investments, not a philosophical justice war," after initially telling subscribers that doomed network Terra was basically risk-free. Pal made the impassioned plea in a tweet that also saw him bemoaning angry people on Twitter screaming at anyone with different views. Raoul Pal re-emphasized his belief in crypto, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum, and how he continues to invest in the crypto market with any saving he can spare. The Real Vision CEO, Raoul Pal, believes crypto markets have likely been through the worst of it, and that a turn in macro conditions may be around the corner. The macro investor tells his 966,300 Twitter followers that the low for crypto is probably in, citing major gains since the Three Arrows Capital saga began. In a recent interview with Archie of the Bitcoin Archive YouTube channel, Raoul Pal shared his recent and updated outlook on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the general crypto market. Before we listen to him, we want to use this opportunity to thank all our viewers for watching our videos. Thank you very much.
So what's your big takeout from this DeFi collapse with Terra Luna, Celsius, BlockFi, and the like? What do you take out from that?
Well, it remains always my same view on yield, is I don't like yield. I've never liked yield. I do think many more projects will go to zero, and some projects will be absolutely enormous, and that's fine. And I've always dealt with this space as if it's a kind of VC-like space, hence why I've had a broad basket of stuff, because I don't really know, because there's so many unknowns when it comes to something new. My general view for people is yield is enticing, but it comes with risk. So if I say, as a risk-free rate, again, in inverted commas, for Web3, does ETH work? Yes, but you get locked up for a fucking year. Where's it? ETH if you need it. You can't get your ETH out, and ETH could be down 80% again. So it's simple as that. Is you just have to understand that anything that you already accept enough volatility in the space to capture the rewards, and it's a risky space overall because there is failure risk of networks, and therefore does a 6% yield or whatever the number is, but what ETH staking yields will be, does that counteract it for you? Now, for an institution, it might do. They'll take an asset allocation and say, I want this trade for the next 10 years, and therefore, if I can accumulate yields, I'll do it. I've never done that. I just don't like it. I just don't like it. Even if I can understand where the yield is generated and think it's relatively safe in terms of yield in that underlying currency, I just prefer the liquidity. And you've seen that liquidity issue. It's been really interesting to watch. And stuff that happens in swap markets and financial markets is what happened was staked ETH traded massively below ETH itself. And that was because people had staked ETH and then wanted the liquidity to be able to get out of their position. And so it trades at a discount. Liquidity has a premium in markets like this. And again, you think you've got something, but you've actually got something else, which is staked ETH in Lido was not doesn't trade one for one with ETH. obviously, because there's a different mismatch of liquidity between the 1 year staking and the ability to withdraw your ETH.
I don't know if you agree with this or not, but holding Bitcoin for me is not the same level of risk profile as holding a basket of goods in the alt market.
Yeah, because network failure of Bitcoin is now pretty much infinitesimally small. So therefore, we've lowered the risk, the existential risk of Bitcoin going away. Now, we still had it in 2017 when I first sold the Bitcoin I bought in 2013. I sold in 2017 during the forking wars because I thought this is existential risk, and I sold too early. But I think there is no existential risk of that sort, i.e., questioning the chain itself and its ability to survive. So therefore, it is lower risk, and it's observable in the market because the market attaches a lower volatility to Bitcoin because the network has a higher adoption rate than any other of the blockchain networks, and it has a lower observable volatility than all of the others, and that makes absolute sense. And ETH is probably next because it has a deep and broad network, but it's not fully adopted as Bitcoin is. And there's still an existential question around the ETH2 merge, right? I think probabilistically it works, but there's a chance. And if it doesn't work, they may have one more shot at it before ETH may have a big problem. And I get that too. Now, I'm prepared to take that risk, but I understand it's an existential risk.
Is the bottom in? What are you looking for before you gain that level of confidence? Are you fully invested right now? And what are you looking for before you fully invest if you're not already?
Yeah, I mean, as I've explained to people, again, people get confused when I say, well, I'm adding to my position. They're like, well, but you're fully invested. Well, I've got an income. So what I try and do is capture excess savings and then stick it all into the crypto markets, so again, I have virtually no savings. I'm pretty much entirely in crypto. So
so am I.
Yeah, and I'm comfortable with that risk, right? Because I've got an income and I'm comfortable that I can not worry about that money for periods of time. Now, sometimes you might want some of it, and that's okay because it's a liquid market and you can get some of it out, which is, again, one of the reasons I don't like the staking as much. So I've got a small amount of cash sitting on exchange that I was hoping that we were going to get the last bit. I've been averaging in with everything I've got, any penny I can find over the last 4 weeks, because I had every single technical signal that I needed, everything from the long-term regression channel, which I quote a lot in Bitcoin, getting pretty much to 2 standard deviations oversold, 2 standard deviations oversold in alts and Ethereum, to whether it's the Bitcoin ribbon or the ETH ribbon, or whether it's the DMARC counts or the RSIs or the on-chain activity, or all of the confluence of stuff gives a probabilistic framework that we are either at or around the low. The price action.
That's what I think as well. But I see analysis from a guy like Bury saying, okay, well, that was earnings compression. Now it's, earnings compression. Now it's up to multiples compression. I think, holy crap, have we got another 50% to go?
Well, I'm not sure that equities and crypto won't decouple. So, again, it was observable that the equity market reached new lows and stuff like ARC didn't, and nor did crypto. So I don't think they're entirely correlated. And again, because the crypto market is more forward looking. So I do expect equities to come lower, and that might stop this rise that's going on in crypto right now. And we could get a decent gut check pullback. We could even retest the lows or whatever it is. I don't really know. And again, I'm giving odds, I think, of 60% chance the low is in. So that's not really strong odds, but I'm comfortable enough that if it falls lower, then if that's over the next few months, then I get a bit more cash, I can add to it, but I'm as comfortable as I've ever been. This feels as good a setup as I've ever seen, and I've been in this market. And again, you can, Twitter can then shout at me and say, well, he told me it's the low. I mean, it's a fucking stupid game. But, I've been in this space since 2013. This is as good a setup as I've ever seen.
Predicting the end of a bear market and the start of a bull market is probably the holy grail of investment, regardless of whether we're talking about cryptocurrencies or stocks and other more traditional assets. But while technical indicators have for a few weeks now been more or less at rock bottom, there has been little upwards movement in the cryptocurrency market until a couple of days ago. Yes, Bitcoin has risen by about 9% in a week, as well as by 17% since a low of $19,148 was recorded on Wednesday, July 13. At the same time, the rest of the cryptocurrency market has followed in its footsteps, rising almost 18% since July 13, with some altcoins, particularly Ethereum, Polygon, and Ethereum Classic, posting above-average gains. Of course, resistance levels created during the bear market may continue to test most cryptocurrencies for a while yet, but it does seem that the cryptocurrency market has regained some real impetus and momentum. A big rally in both Bitcoin and Ether on Monday helped drive the cryptocurrency market value back above the $1 trillion threshold for the first time since June 13. Monday's gains should be a welcome sign to crypto investors, as they have had to deal with a devastating bear market over the past 9 months. The ongoing bear market in crypto has erased $2 trillion in market value and led to several bankruptcies among crypto firms like Celsius, Voyager Digital, and Three Arrows Capital, among others. Do you think we are back to the beginning of another bull run? Please let us know in the comments section. Thanks for watching.